This is a Cat-Bordhi sweet tomato heel demonstrated on a circular sock machine. You can go toe up or cuff down. In this case, I'm going toe up. So you've got your sock in there, and I have found it is easiest to start by raising the needles where the target heel needles are. So that's what I'm doing. Raising them, and as you see, I've knit all the way up to the end there. There I am. I got them all raised, but I also raised the one before. Okay, that's like your first pass. There you go. It's raised. I'm not talking right. So anyway, okay, now I go back the other way. It's a second pass. We raise that one. Okay, that one's being raised. And I push down 3, not just 2. Okay, so now I'm going to make sure the latches are open, and I pass it. I bring up the 1, I push down 3, and push down, make sure the latches are open. Make sure those latches are open. Pass it back, pull up 1, and push down 3. Going to continue that way, make sure the latches are open. Okay, so let's see, am I going back? Oh, alright, about this point you want to move a weight because it's starting to move. So I'm going to put it right there in the middle since it is a heel. There it is. I'm putting the fork in. Forks work better, actual forks, than those little pronged thingies. Definitely prefer the forks for this sweet tomato heel. Okay, now you raise 1 and you drop 3. Pass. No, wait, did I pass? Yes. Raise 1, drop 3. 1, 2, 3. Make sure latches are open. Pass, raise 1, and drop 3. Make sure those latches are open. Now it's time to move another weight, actually 2 weights. Okay, you got the 1 weight you're moving up there, and the second weight you're going to move up there. For the sweet tomato heel, you need to adjust your weights a little more, and in fact, I don't know, you just need to distribute it a little more. So you do raise 1, and drop the 3 again. You're going to continue on your way until you go through 2/3 of the cylinder. Now for 54, you're going to end up with 18 stitches left up. It'll take a little while for us to get there, but it's basically on and on. Raise 1 and drop 3. I'm sort of assuming that you've done another heel, like maybe the Tuttle heel. That's what I checked out to do it. So it's just continuing on, raising 1, dropping the 3. Always make sure your latches are open. You might actually raise your needles a little bit. Again, if you've done the Tuttle heel, this is familiar to you. So you keep doing your passes. After each pass, you raise 1 and drop 3 until you hit your target area. Now for me, let's see. How far are we getting along? Okay, so how are your weights doing? Maybe it's time to move up the center one. So there we go, moved it up. And we continue on until we're just about 2/3. The weights look good. Dropping the 2, raising the 1, so on, etc. Until we get to about our target. I mark my target with a little bit of red marker there. You see that? That's my target, getting very close, both sides. There you go again. Alright, there's the target. For 54 cylinders, you're going to have either 17 or 19 standing. I mean, needles up, okay? So I like to, for the first pass, leave 17 up. The second wedge of the heel, I leave up 19. and the third I leave up 17, if that makes sense. So anyway, I'm pulling it up and going back. Now for the 54, the last ones you push down are not 3 but only 2 to get to the 17. So anyway, but we're doing the last pass there. And oh yes, I'm saying, okay, now we're on the final 2, going down, 2 going down. Making sure the latches are open. Okay, see, they're nice and open. So we're going back. Okay, there we go. We did our last pass. Okay. As you can see, we're all the way down there. So we lift the 1. It's between the 2 red dots. There it is. Ready to go. That's finishing your first wedge. And here it goes. We're going around. Now we're going to push down all of the needles. Oops. We're pushing them all down. And we're going to go around the back twice. Make sure all of your latches are open, okay? And this one, you're going to have a couple tricky ones where it's wrapped. So there's the 1, you have to make sure it's open. Go through slowly the first time around. Okay, everything's good. No stitches dropped. And you got the 1 on the other side you got to worry about. So there you go. It's around once. Everything looks good. Now we're going to go around the second time. Going around the second. And now we have to raise our needles again for the second wedge. So there I go. I'm raising them just as the first. And in this case, at this point in time, you're going to move your forks. Move the center one up. And the side ones up too. It just makes life easier. And you're kind of pretty much good to go for that. And you just go as you went before. So now I'm going to show a little montage of the next wedge, starting with raising it. And let's see, one thing that I think that you should note is that with each wedge, balancing the forks gets a little bit tricky. You have to move the 2 side forks out a little bit more as the wedge grows. I don't have an exact way of going with it. I mean, you know, I've only done a few of these socks. I suppose that if I thought about it, I'd be like, oh, you should put it at blah, blah, blah at such and such a point. But, well, that's not what I do. But anyway, you just basically go through what went before. And I like to, for the 54 cylinder, to end the first wedge with 17 needles up, the second wedge 19 needles up, and the third wedge 17 needles up. Now if you're dealing with 60, then it's just 20 each time, because that's 1/3 of 60. Or let's see, what's the other numbers? 72, 1/3 of 72 is, wait, 3 times 8? Oh, 24, yeah. 1/3 of 96 is, oh, I don't know. Well, at any rate, to make life easier, I cheat and I like to mark my cylinders, you know, with the target heel area, the halfway point, and the 2/3 mark, because actually I really, really like Cat-Bordhi's sweet tomato heel, and it works well for circular sock machines.